people.
I mean, I have always liked Shapeshift.
The song Shake It Off was about how I shed my skin every 1,000 years. And the song Bad Blood was about how I drink blood out of my Grammys.
Reduced to blood.
Save some blood for Paul Rudd.
Everybody who has been here throughout history is now incarnated here, and we're all here for the final battle now on Earth, on Heart. Everybody who's ever been here before is back now, and there is no time to fence it anymore. You choose a side, or you sort of die. You choose this side, or you choose the dark, or you choose the light. That's that.
Okay, I feel like I'm here for a war, for sure. I just don't know what war. I need to work out what war I'm here for. But I feel like we're starting to work it out. What is going on this beach, peeps? That's a busy beach. Durban Beach. No idea.
In the fall, we will host the first ever Patriot Games, an unprecedented 4-day athletic event featuring the greatest high school athletes, one young man and one young woman from each state and territory. But I promise there will be no men playing in women's sports. You're not going to see that. You'll see everything but that. As I first announced in 2020, we will build the National Garden of American Heroes featuring statues of all-time greatest Americans. And we will build a triumphal arc as we celebrate 250 years of American freedom. We are the only major city. We are the only major capital. We are the only major place without a triumphal arc, a beautiful triumphal arc.
We're going to ensure that President...
The other thing that I heard recently, actually, what Trump is doing is he's getting rid of some sort of like healthcare, but also I've seen another side where apparently there's doctors come out and said about they're happy with what he's doing because they want to look at alternative medicine. Cannabis being one of the things that I heard. I don't know if it's true. I just got it, but I can't find it anywhere where I can actually get it on here. I really wanted to get it on here, but it was on ABC News, I think. I couldn't get it onto TikTok, unfortunately. But yeah, I think maybe he's doing the right things. I don't know about the Hunger Games. Not sure. Hope it's not the Hunger Games because that film's not good. But maybe something good to watch. I don't know. Let me know what you think.
Has Congress for all 4 years. We are going to get my husband's friend, J.D. Vance, elected for 48 in the most resounding way possible.
Not sure about this one. Definitely not sure about that one.
De nos compatriotes sur des accords qui ne sont pas encore finalisés. Nous avons depuis le début été très clairs. Nous demandons ce qu'on appelle une clause de sauvegarde. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? C'est un frein de France.
I think that might be
Si
a
on a des
wrinkle.
marchés qui sont déstabilisés, il faut pouvoir stopper les choses.
Wrinkle or a face mask,
La
Pete?
Commission a fait une proposition, le Parlement l'a améliorée, les discussions sont encore tenues hier. Mais elles ne sont pas terminées, il n'y a même pas le vote. Donc ça n'est pas encore prêt. Mais on avance dans la bonne direction.
Tight. Does it
Et
do
je-
it? No, don't do it, Peeps. So what is it? Oh, actually, maybe.
Okay, so NASA casually announced that they're going to be launching UFO-shaped.
His shirt looked tight, and actually, I think maybe that could do the line there. So maybe not, but maybe.
Satellites into orbit, and that's starting tomorrow around noon is when the launching is going to begin. But I'm going to link the article, but essentially what it's saying is that right now they used kind of boxier, square-shaped satellites, and they're kind of inefficient. And if they make them flat and UFO-shaped, then they can utilize the space more. Which, if you know my channel at all, you know that I'm leaning towards UFO, alien life is here. The sightings have increased like 100-fold over the past couple years. They've been meeting in Congress talking about alien life and these ships. So I don't think it's a coincidence that NASA's pulling this type of thing to where if you see something in the sky, you can be like, oh, well, that's just NASA. But I'm going to link the article in the description. You guys can read it for yourselves. And it's got all kinds of uses and excuses on why they're doing this.
Hey, what happened to that post saying...
Interesting. Very interesting. I agree with the guy that UFOs have always been here. Aliens have always been here. There's something that runs this place that ain't the same as us. Technology-wise, they're far more advanced. And what it all is and what they look like, I don't know. But there is something, I think, that is here that is pulling the strings. You know what I mean? You know.
Zionist Jews control the media. We removed it. What about the guy that said that Zionist Jews are censoring his content? We banned him. Oh, well, don't you think that kind of proves everyone's point then? We don't control the media. It's anti-Semitic to say that. Well, now that you've clearly lost the narrative, what do you plan on doing? We're buying TikTok. Oh.
Yeah, and I don't think it's like any...
To the 18...
It's not any religion. There's something bigger going on, I think.
19, 20-year-old kids in America, do not go over and fight these bankers and politicians' wars. You will come back with PTSD. Some of you will come back in body bags. Some of you will come back and be homeless. Some of you will come back and be addicted. Some of you will come back and your spouse will have left you. Is it worth it? Nobody is invading our countries. They need a fresh new load of American kids to go over and fight these senseless wars where a tiny percentage of our politicians get enormously rich while our kids get fucked up.
Have you ever been to the...
Yes, that's what we need to do. Just down tools, not join any of these sides, and just get on with life. Enjoy life. Like, just go plant some fruit and veg in the back garden is probably the best thing to do. And ignore them all. Let them go and fight their wars.
Spain that has the giant hole in the middle of it that no one knows how it got there. This is Balbino, Spain, and it is one of the most visited cities in Spain by touristers every year. But even the world's top scientists don't know how this hole got in the city. It's been there for hundreds and hundreds, maybe even thousands and millions of years. They don't know if it's man-made or if it's naturally occurring, and they don't know where the hole leads to. They don't know if in the bottom.
Is that real? Like, well, I can't believe we've got a hole like that and nobody's gone down and researched it, surely.
Or if it goes all the way through the earth and there's an opening somewhere else on the other side of the global worlds. Every year, about 19 people tragically accidentally trip. And
if that's real, it's a transport system, surely. You're going to tear down there in like a spaceship.
Into it, never to be seen again. So the Spain governors are budgeting this year to try to put a fence around it to stop people from falling down it. But if you do get a chance to visit this city, I do recommend that you visit it. You look down the hole. There is one local that throws bottle caps down it every day. And so if there is a bottom of it, it's got to be full with, hundreds of bottles.
Okay, this guy clearly is a joker. I don't know if the hole is real
At this point.
Yeah.
This man claims in 1994, he met a blue crocodile-eyed alien wearing a military uniform at a military base. That man's name is Jason Sands, and he's a U.S. Air Force veteran. He says the encounter with the alien, who was blue-skinned with crocodile eyes, happened at the Nellis Air Force Base in California in 1994. That the alien, who looked a lot like that, told Jason that his spaceship had crashed, and it was damaged, but it was being repaired at the Air Force Base. Believe it or not, other people have come forward to confirm parts of Jason's story, that there was some kind of crash at the Nellis Air Force Base, and that an otherworldly being, an extraterrestrial, was there. But I want to know what you think about Jason's story and the blue alien with the crocodile eyes. Let me know in the comment section, Booshkies. Shabadoo.
The EU wants to use censorship to protect our democracy. This is the essence behind the last proposal of our president, Ursula von der Leyen, to build a democracy shield with tools that go directly against freedom of speech. Von der Leyen was to reinforce sanctions against individuals based on their opinions if she considers they are misinformed. On top of this, our president wants to give more power to fact checkers to moderate social media, who are nothing else than people with their own biases. I believe we should follow what people like Pavel Durov and Elon Musk have done to allow more freedom of speech online. Things like community notes have helped to empower the citizens themselves to decide what's right and what's wrong, instead of biased fact checkers. So please, von der Leyen, let Europeans express themselves freely, even if you don't like their opinion. Thank you so much. I love you all.
Yeah, I fully agree. We need two sides of the story, and then we'll make our own minds up. We don't need somebody feeding us one side of the story. All about two sides of the story. Listen to both, make your own mind up. And we're getting less and less of that. However, even in history, we only get the winner's side of the story. We don't get the loser's side of the story. So we have to make our minds up on what one side of the story is telling us when it comes to wars. For sure.
There's this movie on Prime, I'm gonna pin it right here, called Multiverse, that sent me down a rabbit hole, literally had my brain so it basically went into how alternate realities are very similar to what we got going on right now, where our consciousness is, but a little bit off, and it just... So with that being said, let's do some diving into the multiverse.
Now this is story.
So there's a real theory in physics that says the universe splits every time a decision is made. Like if you almost text someone and didn't, there's a universe where you sent the text. Like if you was driving and you made a left instead of a right, in some other universe, you made a right.
A lot of universes. A lot. Loads.
Or you kept going straight. But it gets worse. Some scientists don't think that the universe splits just because of your choices. They think it's because quantum events. And that basically means reality can't decide, so it basically chooses everything. That would mean there's versions of you who make completely different life decisions, versions of you that don't have the same friend groups you have, even versions of you that ended up in a place that you've never been. The scariest part about it is they're not alternate timelines. They're all happening right now. Like as you're watching this, another version of you is probably not. We just can't see them. But here's what messed me up the most. If this theory is real, then you've actually never missed out on anything, because every what if already exists somewhere. So, do you think the multiverse is real, or do you think this is science trying to explain how unreal reality already feels?
If you watch this...
The problem is, though, is that all of their multiverses is a shizzle show, right? Because the people running the show are all in that show. It's not my decisions, it's the problem.
If anybody, I know, what's up, chat? He says he can switch people out. And he does it right in front of them. And he says, yo, bro, I'll switch your wife out and I'll put another one of your wife inside of her body. And they're walking around. And you think that's your wife, and it's not your wife. This is what's going on. It's no longer, like I said, it's no longer spiritual. We figured out how to, turn into spirit and exchange the soul in order to control the vessel. So if I have the vessel and I'm just nothing but spirit, I can ruin your life. That's what everybody has been going through. So everybody they can't recognize it unless you say things like the switch. So when they watch that and they see that there's other people that can identify other than me, it's not just me playing games. It's the truth. We have to be careful with who we want. You'll be in the car with Paul, man, but you're really in the car with Peter.
What?
But that's Paul's body. But why is Peter in Paul's body? I've been going through this for a while in order to figure out and identify every soul inside of every vessel, to where we can all identify it, and it's not just me that can do it. We can all identify who we are. We can all say, you know what, we're still here.
So how do I know Orlando's in Orlando's body right now?
Man, I would be 6 inches taller. Haven't you seen Kanye?
Why does Ray J look like Kanye now?
Probably because he is.
You say that a lot. You say a lot of people are other people.
Well, no, bro, you have to look at the vessel and look at how things work. If you love someone, you should know how they work inside of their own vessel. When they move that spirit to the next vessel, they still do the same thing is all I've been saying to you.
Yeah, I'm trying to follow it.
Yeah, well, you followed it because they did.
Did you follow it? They can exchange souls into different bodies. So different people are running different bodies. That's crazy.
It's not real. Not real. Everything they teach you in school is a lie. You want the truth? The world is controlled by shadowy elites and shape-shifting lizard people.
I mean, I have always liked shapeshift.
The song Shake It Off was about how I shed my skin every 1,000 years. And the song Bad Blood was about how I drink blood out of my Grammys.
Reduced to blood. Save some blood for Paul Rudd.
Rather than set an arbitrary timeline. And the best way to
Oh. Oh dear. Man down, y'all.
Oh.
I'm telling you right now, that mother back there is not real.
Not real.
It's real. Give me sugar. And water.
Poison to us, isn't it?
But it is going to bother you because you're human, and I was human. I am human, still.
At any given time, there are around 1,500 aliens on the planet. Most of them right here in Manhattan. And most of them are decent enough. They're just trying to make a living. Cab drivers. Not as many as you'd think. Humans, for the most part, don't have a clue. They don't want one or need one either. They're happy. They think they have a good bead on.
So why the big secret? People are smart. They can handle it.
The person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. 1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat. And 15 minutes ago, you knew that people were alone on this planet.
Imagine what you know. Moral.
I'm Rob Reiner, and America, we've got a problem. We've been attacked by a foreign enemy power, and our president refuses to defend us. Donald Trump is meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin one-on-one in a closed-door meeting with no aides present and no record of what will be said. Putin's government attacked our democracy by interfering in the 2016 election to help Donald Trump become president. That is not in dispute. It has been verified by all U.S. intelligence agencies, the Republican-led Senate Intelligence Committee, and the U.S. Justice Department. Trump and his campaign's conspiracy with Russia.
Okay, there's two options here. Two options. One, Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin are fighting the elites that are trying to control the world and bring on the New World Order. That is one option, which is where they are the good guys and are trying to actually bring about the world to live in peace. Well, number two, Donald Trump is working for Vladimir Putin, and they are trying to take over the world and are basically hypnotizing us all into thinking that the world that we live in is really bad. And the reason I say that is because everyone feels like they're actors now. So I don't know. That's two. Like, could be either or. I hope the first one, but could be the second.
Is the subject of a federal investigation. And yet Donald Trump refuses to meet with Robert Mueller, the prosecutor leading that investigation. Trump said he'd meet with anyone. He told us, I'll speak to anybody. But now he's backing out. He has nothing to hide. Why won't he sit down and answer Mueller's questions? What's he afraid of? In light of his meeting with Putin.
It's more imperative than ever that we get that truth. Join me in demanding that Trump meet with Mueller and answer his question.
What's that? Oh, more.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting. Again, I sit on the fence and I watch. I don't know what's going on. I know something's not right in the world. But which way it swings, I have no idea.
More people are reporting the fact that your phone is actually.
And I also don't think that it is them. I think there is more to it. There's higher layers, that are in control.
Bringing up things that you're thinking and not even saying out loud. Tell me more!
Yeah, most of us have noticed that when we talk about things, it'll pop up on our phone in some sort of an ad or video form. But now it's creeping out people more and more because it's coming to the point where people think about things and all of a sudden they're seeing these ads and it gets even crazier. Meaning this isn't just for new items or anything like that. People are literally can walk into a house, see some sort of an old vintage German piece, and now all of a sudden it's popping up on their phone. What? Oh, but it doesn't stop there. Oh, because now what people are saying is that when they think about even committing some sort of a crime, even though they really wouldn't do it, their phone is reporting them to then having somebody contact them and discuss this with them. Oh, goody. Yeah, some agency is showing up to people's houses after.
No, I don't know if that's true, but I've heard something about something along them lines where they are going to look at this. Minority Report, the film Minority Report. Go watch that.
And saying your phone reported you for suspicious activity.
Which is great.
Oh, goody.
Back in London. And our black cabbies are with us as well. Well done to the farmers. All here to say sod. Here, farmer. Well done. Time to say you're going to take them by.
Because the farmers. They are, again, protesting, which is good. They should do, because they're being given a hard time. But Katie Hopkins, I'm pretty sure she's been linked to like the Israel military or something. Entertainment purpose only, peeps. I don't know. I've not really fully researched it. But her and Tommy Robinson, I'm pretty sure they're linked to Israel, basically. They're pushing all this, obviously, like protests and stuff. Why?
They're praying. Well done.
Ooh, Ireland joined France en route to Brussels, apparently. They're joining forces, so that's a good idea.
The British Empire is panicked. NATO chiefs, British generals, even the head of MI6 coming out of the shadows, all screaming for escalation with Russia. They want you to look at the missiles. They want you to think that this is about territory or democracy. Well, it's not. They're not afraid of Russia. They're afraid of a PDF file released quietly in Washington last week, which signals the silent assassination of their entire financial model. The weapon that is terrifying London isn't a hypersonic missile. It's this. Now, it sounds boring. It looks bureaucratic. But inside these pages is the end of the City of London's mandate to loot the American economy. Don't let the name fool you. This is the economic equivalent of a declaration of war on the financier elite. It declares that from now on, people and economic growth come first, not financial parasites. And it comes right on the heels of the administration's national security strategy, which declares that sovereign nations come first, not globalist institutions. These were released within a week of each other, and these two documents reassert that American principles will now govern us, not imperial principles. I'm Susan Kokinda. This has been a battle that I've been part of since the 1970s. But I've seen how the British start wars and create narratives to keep you in the dark. It's time for all of this to come into the light, and that's what we're going to do today. But before I get to that, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel and help us extend our reach. So here's what we're going to cover today. how London's panic is out in the open, and the Russians know it, what Trump's new economic strategy is, people, not bankers, first, and that phase one of that strategy is the war against the cartels. So Trump's current pressure campaign on Ukraine is forcing Europe, and in particular the British, right out in the open, so open that they're telling their people to prepare for war. Over the past week, Trump has been brutally honest with Zelensky. You're losing, you need to hold elections, and oh, by the way, you're completely corrupt. The Wall Street Journal reported that the Trump team is telling Zelensky, either you negotiate on territory or you get no security guarantees. Now, this also reflects the reality of Trump's new national security strategy that I covered last week. Trump is no longer operating under the transatlantic alliance playbook. As one dispirited European diplomat blurted out at a DC Christmas party, the Western alliance is over. The relationship will never be the same again. So the split is out in the open, and Trump is pushing a negotiated settlement which recognizes Russia's legitimate interests. But the Europeans keep egging Zelensky to continue the war. And the British are the most overt. Look at this general on Sky News. He didn't talk about peace. He warned that the United Kingdom's sons and daughters need to be ready to fight.
Perhaps the most obvious impact on all of us will be the cost of building this resilience. Sons and daughters, colleagues, veterans will all have a part to play, to build, to serve, and if necessary, to fight. And more families will know what sacrifice for our nation means.
And it's not
We ain't fighting or sacrificing for you, buddy.
military. The new head of MI6, whose grandfather, by the way, was on the side of the Ukrainian Nazis, warned, we are now operating in a space between peace and war. We all continue to face the menace of an aggressive, expansionist, and revisionist Russia seeking to subjugate Ukraine and harass NATO. But Putin should be in no doubt our support is enduring. The pressure we apply on Ukraine's behalf will be sustained. Guess who else sees that it is the British who are keeping
U.S.
Interesting. Very interesting. So that would say that's what Trump is doing is taking down the elites from that conversation. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
So here it is. Here are the things that I know about Three Eye Atlas from personal experience as a lifelong experiencer, remote viewer, and psychic. It is a craft. It is a diplomatic craft. It has representation from all star systems and all star lineages and families that are represented on Earth. And they are here getting the attention of the world and setting out the invitation for those who are aligned with the liberation of the planet and humanity, who seek to live in world peace and unity despite differences, to move into an era of galactic faring humanity as a sovereign race. So if you fit that bill, open your hearts, open your minds, and call them in. They're ready and they're here.
Shows that we're trying.
Story begins at the dawn of history. The birth of the very first society begat the need for the very first secret society.
Oh, but it gets even deeper.
Secret knowledge. We and our descendants kept watch over all of human history.
Well, not to point out the obvious, but fire, plague, actual fucking locusts. If you're watching over us, why didn't you stop these things?
Stop them. We unleashed them. Nothing was about to over. We released.
Show Inside Job on Netflix piqued a lot of people's, including my interest, and many people hypothesized that maybe it was deeper than just a show. This next clip also stuck with me.
And you're the life of this party. It's the most natural smile I've ever seen out of Mark Zuckerberg.
I haven't watched the entirety of the 2 seasons that are out, but watching those episodes where I found those 2 clips was enough to make me want to dig in. Here we see on the show's poster, filled with symbolism. I mean, come on. Of course, people are going to say that shows like this are made to poke fun at so-called conspiracy theorists. But what if there's more to it? Comment below. Let me know. Do you think I'm on to something?
Yeah, I've watched them both, and yes, it is definitely telling the truth. Yeah, it is. I mean, we live in a world where we wonder why there is crime. Well, the reason there is crime in this world is because people don't have enough to live on, so they have to go and do crime. If we all had enough to live on, we probably would wipe out 90% of crime straight away. Like the thing that everything is set up for it to be exactly how it is for some reason. I just don't know why.
Wake up.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the farmers again. Here they are. Here they are, y'all. Whoa, look at Russia's train station. It is built. Oh, Epstein survivors just released this chilling new video.
I suffered so much pain, so much pain.
So much pain.
I suffered so much pain.
Where's the list?
I was 14 years old.
I was 16 years old. I was 16.
17.
14 years old.
This is me.
This was me.
This is me.
When I
Speak
met
to these
Jeffrey
people.
Epstein.
This is me.
Why are these people not on news channels, like being interviewed and being told like exactly what's going on? Like what is going on? Why has it not come out yet?
When I met Jeffrey Epstein.
It's not rocket science. Just release the files.
There are about 1,000 of us.
It's time to bring the secrets out of the shadows. It's time to shine a light into the darkness.
Yes. Now, tell me. You tell me. These are the people.
Does the CIA listen through our phones and laptop cameras? Yes. I hate to say it. There was a dramatic leak in 2017 that the CIA came to call the Vault 7 disclosures. Gigabytes worth of documents leaked by a CIA technology engineer. What he told us was that the CIA can intercept anything from anyone, number one. Number two, they can remotely take control of your car through the car's embedded computer. To do what? To make you drive off a bridge, into a tree, to make you kill yourself and make it look like an accident. They can take over your smart television and turn the speaker into a microphone so that they can listen to what's being said in the room, even when the TV is turned off. God knows what else that they can do that hasn't been leaked.
Whoa. There's an angry fish. Whoa.
I used to live next to Epstein's Island. You guys want to hear a weird story? So in my 20s, I lived on St. Thomas, which is right next to Little St. James, which is now famously Epstein's Island. And when I was living there, we used to take our boat out. We had a little boat and we would take it out of the marina. Now, because of where our boat was docked, pretty much every time we left the marina, we had to drive past Little St. James, which is Epstein's Island. Now, I lived on St. Thomas before everything blew up and it was a scandal before Epstein got arrested. Actually, through Epstein getting arrested. It was pretty crazy while I lived there. But anybody that you asked, they would know the rumors about the island. It was commonly called Pedophile Island. It was just very well known. But one of the weird things is, while we would take our boat out and drive past the island, we would always look for the cows. Now, they weren't real cows. They had these plastic cows. I think that there was at least one, if not two. They would move them around the island. What we were told is that there was some kind of tax evasion thing. If they had livestock on the island, there was some tax loophole that they didn't have to pay. if they had livestock. So they had these plastic cows that they moved around the island. I don't know if that's actually true, but that's what we were told. That was the most plausible explanation. I don't know, it's super weird because it makes a lot of sense that billionaires are trying to get out of taxes. We could never get that close to the island. There was always a lot of security, but we would drive around it and you could see all the different buildings. There wasn't a lot going on, but there was the temple, we called it. It was this giant gold dome temple. I can tell you more about that if you want. And the cows and a couple other buildings. We would see people on four-wheelers driving around sometimes. So I have out.
Good morning, Kansas City. Let's take a look at today. Let's.
This is Steven Spielberg's film trailer.
Today's.
There's a new UFO film coming out by Steven Spielberg.
In 2001, a game called Metal Gear Solid 2 predicted the future better than any Simpsons episode could have ever possibly predicted the future. Check this clip out. This is spooky, but you need to know about it. Check it out. I'll try to talk.
Are you having fun playing with the new AI toys? Well, yeah, I am. You can make pictures of cute anime girls and... Enjoy it while it lasts, Raiden. What do you mean? Did you really think that civilians would be granted unrestricted access to such powerful military weapons forever? Military weapons? Are you implying that this technology was created by the government? Of course it was. This AI technology has been used by the intelligence agencies to warp the public's perception of reality for years. All in the name of national security, of course. But why would they suddenly make the tech public and let everyone start using it? Why would we indeed, Raiden? What? What in the hell are you? Your question is irrelevant. By creating a new problem, we can cultivate a desired reaction to it in order to manufacture consent for our preferred solutions. In short, it's justification for a war. A war? On who or what? A war on misinformation. By arming the public with these AI weapons, everyone becomes a potential enemy combatant. Then we will have justification for unprecedented security measures. It all comes down to confusion and identity, right? Identity? Identity. This AI technology is Pandora's box. Pretty soon the internet will be mired in total illusion. Perfect AI speech, audio, and video synthesis will drown out reality. Then AI bots will flood social media.
That's what's happening now.
Be able to tell the difference between interacting with an AI machine or a real human online. Even telephone calls will become totally untrustworthy. That is when we will present our solution. Mandatory digital identity verification for all humans at all times. The only way to ensure that you're dealing with a real flesh and blood human being and not an AI-generated mirage. But why? Total information control. For too long, the internet has acted as a double-edged sword. Its potential for anonymous user activity allows anyone at all to spread any thoughts, ideas, or information patterns that they please with impunity. State secrets, dangerous ideas, ludicrous conspiracy theories, misinformation, and disinformation. Until now, there has been no easy solution to this problem. Our digital identity platform will finally put an end to anonymity online.
Are you kidding me?
Allow us to trace misinformation and other dangerous communications to its source. Exact. Appropriate justice. That's crap. I won't go along with it, and others will resist. You won't have a choice, Raiden. Do you think your bank is willing to risk doing business with an artificial human instead of a real one? Our digital identity platform will be required not only to access web services, but to pay for your internet connection in the first place. You can't just censor the entire internet because of a new software technology. Who are you to define what's misinformation anyways? That sounds like something a misinformation terrorist would say.
This is all in front of us.
Fakes you've been making of me, Raiden.
What? No. I was just adjusting the AI settings and controlling the output of generative AI technology is simple. We will create context for its use. First, we will censor any use related to social taboos. Then we will censor anything else that we desire. If anyone complains, we will accuse them of wanting to engage in or promote social taboos.
That's what it means to create context.
We will corral the use of AI by making appeals to bias, ethics, and copyright laws. You will still have access to generative AI in some form, but it will be crippled, limited, controlled, and it will be monitored. Anything that you generate will be cryptographically signed with your digital ID so that its provenance can be ascertained if it's later deemed to be problematic.
What gives you the right to control what people can do with their computers?
The public at large will give us that right because they will be desperate for a solution to the problem we created.
We give consent.
Eagerly give us the keys to the castle. Then we alone will define what is fiction and what is reality, what is human and what is machine. After letting you get a brief taste of our power, we will reclaim our monopoly on misinformation and put an end to misuse of the internet once and for all.
You won't get away with this.
It is probable that we will. Now get back to work generating your precious AI waifus, Raiden, our beloved prompters. Enjoy yourselves.
Insane. Absolutely insane.
Has Congress...
Are you actually telling me that is a legit game in 2001? Because that is scary.